Okay, we are recording.
Great stuff. Thank you. Yeah, so it looks like from what I can see, I've only got like a small amount of HODLX in the pool, which I'm effectively using to test. But yeah, we'll check it, and that should all be live and up.
Working. I just disconnected, reconnected, and it is going to add. Yeah, it's 0.02.
Nice.
So yeah, it's working. If you don't see it registering, just disconnect, reconnect in your wallet.
Great stuff. Okay, so thanks everybody for joining. We wanted to have an AMA at this time because, yeah, in celebration of the Earn HODL Hands pool going live. So this is something we're really proud of, something we've worked hard on. Just for anybody who's not familiar with what's going on, or just to give everybody a refresher, how it works is if you go to the HODLX.exchange website and go to the Earn section, you'll see at the bottom a Earn HODL Hands pool. All you have to do is stake HODLX. Currently, the APR is 384.5%, which is incredible. We've set really attractive APRs for this pool because we want to really ramp up the buy pressure and reduce the sell pressure on HODLX as an important part of our ecosystem. So at the moment, there's 1.6 billion HODLX, 1.7 billion HODLX in the pool, and I'm sure that will grow as people start to earn their NFTs. Now, one of the things that I was quite curious about and we looked at as a team is we've not actually seen another project. It wouldn't, maybe there is one out there, but from a light bit of research, we can't find another project where you're able to stake tokens and earn NFTs. There are some projects that allow you to stake your NFTs to earn tokens, but as far as I can see, none where you can stake tokens to earn NFTs. That's really quite interesting, and I'm sure if no one else is doing it, that other people will start doing it because it's quite novel and a good concept. What I think though is really quite amazing about the pool though, beyond that, is that if somebody wants to invest and stake an amount of HODLX that, let's say, earns them half an NFT in the 60-day period, if they're staking a smaller amount, we've built a technology that allows the individual to top up the balance. So in other words, if you don't claim, because obviously you can only pay out full NFTs, what you'd call integers, whole numbers. So the idea is that you can top up any earnings in BNB. So if you've earned 0.25 NFTs, half an NFT, or even say 5.5 NFTs, you can top up the balance to round it up to the next NFT. And that's done in BNB. So it's a great way for people, for smaller investors, to get their HODLX working for them and make some earnings towards an NFT. But it also means that people are accessing their rewards, even if it doesn't amount to a whole NFT, with the option to top it up. So a really cool piece of development that will be good for the project and good for the investor. So this is all live. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on it for the next hour or so intensely and monitor feedback in the community. But once the pool starts flowing and people can see the APRs and see their accumulating NFTs, I'm sure that it will grow. So really pleased with that, really excited to see how it goes. Hope you guys have taken advantage of it because the HODLX price is a bargain at the moment, and we're also going to be adding some more cool utility and functionality to that project. So definitely get involved if you can and get your NFT, your HODLX staked for these NFTs. The other great thing, obviously, by earning NFTs through this method, you can then stake those NFTs to earn either HODL or HODLX. So it really is becoming a very diverse and multifaceted ecosystem. I think we looked at it the other day, and currently we have 16 different ways now that you can make money within our ecosystem, which is incredible. So I think with that in mind, we'll move on to an AMA shortly and talk about the future and some of the other things that we're planning. But I would say the key focus for us now, and it'll be interesting what your thoughts are on this, but I believe we have a really, really impressive product and an impressive ecosystem with plenty of earning potential, which is certainly way beyond what our market cap or our price would indicate. So I think as a team, we're conscious that the next major thing for our project is to really focus in as a group, along with the support of the community. So please help where you can on getting the message out, on marketing, on delivering AMAs in different communities, on social media. So that's a big focus, to shine a light on some of these things that we've developed recently, including this brand new pool. So let's first off, is there anything from Ken or anybody in the team? Ken, obviously you're probably our NFT whale, so everything's working good for you. Any thoughts from anybody in the team before we maybe move on to the AMA?
Yeah, I'm just I'm connected. Everything is working the way it's supposed to be. Going back on all those different methods of making income, I'm utilizing a few of them, and they all work without fail. So everybody take advantage of that. You could stake HODL, earn both. You know, like stake HODL, earn HODLX, stake it's just so much to go over. You know what I mean? And all the stacking and all that. Anyway, you guys utilize this stuff. It's there. If you have any questions with it, reach out, ping me or something. Okay.
Yeah, Ken, I know one thing that you do a lot of that, probably worth touching on is the compounding. Like, what kind of impact is that making for you, and what would you kind of suggest to anybody on the call about compounding their investment?
Well, compound is king, and anybody who knows anything about finances, it works in all financing, right? I mean, it just does. And there's a rule of sevens. If you're not sure what that is, look that up. I'll post a link to an article here in a few. But look up, just Google search or search the rule of sevens, and look what compounding does. But I compound everything, and I'm across, within our ecosystem, I'm across a few of the income asset earning platforms within our platform, or you know what I mean, chapters in our book, put it that way. And I compound whenever I can. So I have an alarm set in my phone for our platform and a couple others, that I'm in partner system, SokuSwap, we know that. And I just go in, and if you got $8 or $10 and the gas fees, 25 cents, 30 cents, 90 cents, whatever it is, it absolutely makes sense to compound. And because as you're compounding, you're taking profits that are just sitting there. They're not really doing anything but growing, right? And you pull that out and compound it back into one of your platforms, that will start earning you more, and you're not hurting the platform that you pulled the profit out of. Now, don't mess with what's in there, but take out collect your reward, so to speak, your reward, and put that back in, and you're moving money that's just sitting there over into another platform or another option that makes it grow quicker. And so it's kind of hard to explain. It's in my head bouncing around, but you know how I am. But yeah, compounding makes sense. I mean, even if you got $5 or $10 in profit, compound that into another option, right? HODLX, HODL hand, whatever, because that does add up. It may, and I tussled with this for a while. A few months back, I was like, I want at least $100 to make it worthwhile. But if you think about it, it's not growing, sitting there, stacking on itself. So just move it and put it into something, $5, $10, $12, whatever it is, because after a while starts growing exponentially. Hopefully that wasn't, like I say, I know how it works in my head because I've been doing it now for like a year. And it definitely works. Just compound, just take profits, or, what you've earned, whatever that is, whether you've earned HODL, you've earned HODLX, you've earned a HODL hand, turn around as soon as you get a full HODL hand in this brand new pool, then put that over and stake your HODL hand to earn HODLX or HODL, right? And so just keep the money. Like we're keeping the money in our ecosystem, but you keep your own personal investment profits in your own ecosystem and it just works. It just works, and it continues to grow at a faster pace, and you'll earn more by compounding than just letting it sit there and taking it out and cashing it in, right? I mean, it's your profit to do what you wish, but I would tell you to just compound it unless you're in dire straits and you need the money. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Hopefully that was a little
You've got to
helpful.
compound till it blows up. You've got to. It's
Yeah.
the way to do it. It's the way to become rich. If you just
It
keep
is.
compounding, now, by the time it gets to 100 million market cap again, which it will, without a shadow of a doubt, you're rich. As simple as that.
Yeah,
If you
because
didn't compound and you're just
yeah,
taking out 0.02s or 0.05s and you're just collecting them and they're going nowhere, it's not worth it. You might as well just
right. It's not enough.
compound,
It's not enough
compound,
to change
compound.
your life, right? To take that money out and a little bit at a time here and there. It most of the time it's not enough to change your life, right? So compound it. What you're doing is you're expanding. Let's say you have a bag of pennies, and you start off with 100 pennies, and you compound, and pennies with a penny, let's say. But at some point, instead of 100, you have 200, 300, 400, and then you got a bigger bag of pennies. You know what I mean? And so it just works. It grows. So grow your money. And
Not
again, if
only
you
that, not only that,
Sure.
if everybody keeps compounding within the ecosystem till it blows up again, it helps the chart and it grows the chart like it did last time before we blew up, because everybody's compounding, buying HODL again or HODLX, whatever we're doing, and it's staying within. It just grows because nobody is cashing out yet. If you cash out when we blow up, you become rich. If you cash out now, you're not making anything.
Yeah, that's correct. Just grow your quantities, right? Because if your quantity is your quantity, and the price is going to fluctuate, but right now is not the time. Right now is not the time to harvest because your garden is in pretty bad condition, right?
Yeah,
You nurture,
accumulate
let
mode,
it grow,
accumulate
and
mode.
then when you have big, giant, ripe red tomatoes, that's when it's time to pick one or two. But trying to pick those little bitty nubs on a flower, it's not very satisfying, right? So just and by you want to increase your quantity of the tokens that you have, because as the price increases, that quantity is worth more. And the fact that you grew your quantity, it's worth exponentially more. But just compound, just grow. Don't cash out if you can help it, and just increase your bag, increase your quantity. We'll get there.
100%. And the other thing is as well, like the APR on this new pool. So we're targeting that if I believe if it was our target was $30,000 of HODLX is in the pool as an average over the 60 days. The APR will be 150%. So we're talking about APRs that are kind of comparable to the farms, but you've got like low risk with this pool because it's basically staking. So the APRs are going to be amazing. But if you think about it, right now I think it's just gone down because more people are putting money in. It's flying up how much is in there, but it's 377% APR. So if you think about that, and you're earning these NFTs, and then on the NFTs, I'll just check that, but you're getting the earn HODLX pool is 87%. So you can be taking advantage of the APR by staking HODLX and earning the NFTs, and then you can be pulling those out and staking those. So the opportunity to earn is pretty amazing, and particularly considering what's going on in the wider market. We're offering some really good earning opportunities here. So please take advantage, because we want the people that have held with us and the people that are involved in the project now, whilst it's still in the scheme of things and where we want to go, our early stage investors, to really benefit. So do take advantage, and I hope you guys are going to really enjoy this new pool. Oh, the other thing is as well, you might get a rare NFT. So obviously that becomes interesting too, because we've got some plans for that in the future. But we're listed on a ton of trading platforms, so there's an opportunity to trade the NFT as well. So yeah, very exciting day, very exciting piece of technology. Really happy with what the team have done to deliver on this. So now we're going to market the hell out of it. But yeah, please take advantage.
Hello.
Let's whoever that was, go ahead, mate, because we're going to move on now to the AMA. So whoever that was, just ask your question. Or if anyone else has got a question, please just unmute yourself and fire away.
Someone's just asked in the chat if any plans for listing an exchange.
Exchanges is a really interesting one. Obviously, we're already listed on a number of exchanges. And I think the challenge all projects face at the moment is the volume in crypto generally is a lot lower right now. So it's probably not the best time to be investing heavily into listing on exchanges. I would also argue, from sort of what we've seen historically, that the best thing we could do is probably save up a bit more money and list on a major exchange rather than these sort of more mid-tier exchange. So who's this guy? Yeah, so I think that's probably what we're going to do is look for some of the more major exchanges and focus on those, which is going to take a bit of time. Because Binance, for example, is a couple of $1 million. So obviously that's we're way off that. The other thing that I think we need to do regarding exchanges is we're looking at building arbitrage bots, because right now the price fluctuation, particularly because we're a smaller project, compared to say something like Dogecoin or obviously Bitcoin, etc. The price fluctuation is a lot higher. So what you find is that on platforms like CMC and CoinGecko, which then feed price calculations in people's wallets, you get a lot more. It's far more variable, the price in those platforms and on those exchanges because of the trading volume and liquidity. So I feel it would be a real benefit to the project if we actually built our own market maker bots and our own arbitrage bots before we next list on an exchange. So yes, we're going to list on more exchanges, but we're going to try and do more with our current ones and develop some technologies as well that will keep our costs down, because otherwise you have to pay for these services. And if we build arbitrage bots, it will both stabilize our price across all the different exchanges, plus generate profits that we can then funnel back into the reward pool. So long story short, we want to do some work before we go on to our next exchange, and we're more focused on the bigger exchanges rather than going for more of the sort of mid-tier exchanges which are already listed. So I hope that covers your question. Is there any more questions? Or you guys, who in here is actually in the new pool? Has anybody managed to get into this new pool yet? I've got Captain HODL, Selkus, Cryptane. Are any of you guys now staking your HODLX?
No, I'm not staking any at the moment. But I do want to know what's next when it comes to marketing. I saw all the Twitter stuff, so I would just want to know what's next when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, so we've I think it's been about 4 days since we started to work with a team who are doing some. Personally, I've been really impressed with what the impact of what they've done. We are doing a lot more on Twitter, and that includes the team and includes, say, myself, for example. And then I can see people like yourself, which we appreciate, and other people in the community are making more noise on Twitter, and I think it's really looking good. So that's just been happening. I think it's tomorrow evening, there's going to be an announcement that we're going to be doing a really, really big AMA in a massive community, and it's a quality community. I actually sat in that community for a while to make sure that it was high quality and that there was a lot of engagement and a lot of people, because sometimes these things can be full of bots. So yeah, there's going to be a massive AMA announced tomorrow. We're doing a lot more partner marketing. So I don't know if you've seen that, but we've got like platforms like Stay Safeu, where they've done a KYC and they're currently working on a contract audit. When we work with these kind of people, we're then partnering with them. So you might have seen some stuff go out from Stay Safeu, and I can tell you that was really effective, because we saw, I think it was a 7.8 BNB buy that same day from somebody that's wallet was full of Stay Safeu token. So that for me is a really good thing that we're doing more of. So I've been doing a lot of partner marketing with so we did a load with Stay Safeu. We're going to do more. We did a load with Bubble Maps, that's a Moonlight token. So them two alone have got about 15,000 followers on their Twitters, and they've been sending stuff out. So I really believe in the partner marketing, that we take advantage of these good services that are out there. Then we promote each other. We did the same with Volcania. That was quite good. They sent their stuff out on Twitter, and we did a load of stuff in the community. So we ramped up the Twitter, which hopefully you can see, and we're now trending all over Lunar Crush, which is great. We have been ramping up the partner marketing. We've got a big AMA that's going to get announced tomorrow. JG's been ramping up the Bit Media ads. So these are banner adverts that target people who are looking at content around crypto. We've also been ramping up our remarketing. So anyone that visits our websites is now going to get exposed to more banners. What else is going on? Oh, and we're just about to launch. We have 3.2 from memory, or 3.5 million crypto email addresses that we're going to start marketing to. I think we're able, due to the sort of spam controls, we're able to contact around 300,000 of them a month. So that starts, I think, within the next week. We're just finalizing some of the we're warming up domains that we send from and that kind of thing. So that's probably what's kind of most current and what's going to be happening over the next few weeks. Hope that helps. Anyone else have a question?
What's the crack with the utility for the games? Is anything happening there?
So a little exclusive, I suppose, is we're going to be making a couple of gambling games. I won't say more than that, but they're in production. So there's a couple of try your luck games coming out. In terms of the HODLgames.net, so Moonshot and HODL Grabber and the other games that we've made, they're free to play at the moment. But the idea is that we will add a play to earn element in the future, which will be effectively unlocked by holding some of the, I suppose, consumables of our ecosystem, be that HODLX, HODL, or the NFTs. So that needs to start, but that's the plan. So hard to give you an exact time on that, but that hopefully won't be too far in the future.
No, as long as it's in development, that's perfect.
We're also working on something as well that's gone into production. I was talking to Captain HODL about. So basically, you'll be able to start accessing some rewards based on your HODL ranking. So as you move up some of the bigger ranks, you'll get some prizes. So that's another thing. A bit of gamification to do with the level of investment.
Yeah, let me touch on from the other day that now reflections build on your HODL tokens, which is amazing, right? I'm not stacking, I've got all mine staked, but that's a pretty amazing feat. So I don't know if everybody realized that or not. I know an announcement went out, but I just wanted to plug that too. That is pretty incredible.
Yeah, just on that, so a couple of things. We within the contract, there's this kind of like I suppose you could almost call it like a safety feature or a warning. If somebody stacks their reward and the BNB that they've accumulated is less than the gas fee, either reinvestment or claiming fully in BNB, the system will issue a note that says, hey, you're going to be claiming this much in reward, but your gas fee exceeds that. That's because we found that there's a lot of money being wasted by the user and within our reward pool of people claiming an amount of BNB that's less than the reward amount. So we added a function to the contract that would issue a warning to the user under that condition, but we actually have changed it so that rather than that happening on the contract, it happens within the platform. And what that means is it lightens the overhead of what the contract's doing when people are stacking. So the costs of stacking have gone from something like $1.1 down to $0.7. It's like knocked off about 30% of the cost to stack. So right now we're in a position where it's costing you around 70 cents to stack your rewards for, and I think the maximum, because of the way the system handles the time stamping, is 3 years and 10 months. So for 70 cents, you can effectively stack for nearly 4 years. It's actually pretty incredible. And how the reflection stuff works is if your tokens are already in the pool, in the reward stacking pool, and that you did that before the new upgrade was made the other day in the announcement, you won't get the reflections. But the next time you stack, because we've added that function to the contract, the next time you stack, it will. For anybody that's stacking their rewards after, or hadn't stacked them at that point, but has started stacking after we announced it, it will apply. You get those reflections though when you unstack. So when you unstack and claim your reward, it will also send you the tokens that you've accumulated in reflection. So it's some pretty cool stuff. Like, again, I don't think anyone else has done that. So pretty pleased with what the contract team have done on that front. Another little update, because I think I've mentioned this previously, we booked a contract audit with Stay Seifu. So obviously we did the KYC, which I think is a good tick in the box. We've also booked in the contract audit, and how that works is they send you a report where they read line by line every aspect of the contract and a load of other things that they test and methods. But we've got a 25-page breakdown of their feedback on our contract, and we had zero critical, zero high concerns or risks. We had a handful of medium, but they're not things to worry about. They're just kind of like, oh, it'd be better if. And a lot of it's to do with like approaches to contract development that are kind of like textbook. So it's pretty light stuff basically. But the point I'm making is that the initial audit that came back last week was really strong, which was great from a security perspective. But the way it works is you get they call it a V0, like a version 0 report, and then you turn around the changes that you want to make, which we're going to be doing, and we can do because we're an upgradable contract. So the idea is that this week we'll make a series of changes to the contract to try and basically tick off every recommendation they've made, and then they rerun the audit, which will probably be, let's say, the end of this week, start of next week, and then they produce a final report. So probably next week we'll have a final report, and by the looks of it, it will be an absolutely crazy report, quite frankly. Like just a ridiculously clean bill of health when it comes to contract security. So the idea is we'll publish that, and then we'll collaborate on promoting that with Stay Safe, who they'll promote it to their communities and vice versa. And then we will probably book in another contract audit with another popular brand, so they can almost basically review our contract having had it reviewed. So it's almost like a second check off, which is pretty cool. Like, we're going to reach a point where various teams, including ourselves and other teams that we've had, other developers we've had, consultants, then several auditors have basically gone round in circles with the contract. The other really cool thing that we've booked in with Stay Seifu is those guys are amazing at reading contracts and giving us advice. So we've already identified a number of functions and aspects of the contract which we can optimize, and they're going to further give us input on that. And what that means is that we'll be able to reduce the contract size without having any impact on all of the functionality that we have now, plus refine and improve some of the existing functionality, so that we'll ultimately end up with a smaller, more efficient contract, which will then hopefully get our gas fees down across the board even further. So that's something I'm particularly looking forward to over the next week or two. Fair bit of work, but it's just taking our contract to a whole new level, which we've been doing quite a bit, but we're really going to another level.
It also ties into marketing that as well, because once you've got those audits done and what have you, you then get invited to the bigger call groups, like the really big boys, the blue ticks all over the places on Twitter and stuff. They start taking notice once you've got those sort of things done.
Well, I think we've been quite smart about it, because you can get a Certic audit, which I'm sure one day we'll have, but we've had quotes from Certic from between $25,000 up to $40,000, and whilst we're still developing how smart our contract is and adding new function, the issue you've got is that when you do an upgrade, you have to then basically pay them not as much, but a decent chunk of money again. So because we're still in that fairly aggressive, or maybe not quite as aggressive as we have been, but relatively aggressive period of innovation with our contract, it would just be burning cash. And obviously 25, 30, 40K to pay for Certic is a hell of a lot of money. So instead of doing that, we've basically engaged smaller auditors, but we've made sure that these guys know their stuff. And then what's really cool is that they're all doing a load of marketing for us. So, you know, the Stay Safely one, I think, is an amazing investment. But we've seen as well that through them promoting us having a KYC, which was, I think that was $400, that KYC. You know, we saw almost immediately an near 8 BNB buy on the chart. So, and they're also going to be doing some videos. So I think we're being really cute about it at the moment. But then at some stage, we'll when we have a lot more money and things are pumping, we'll probably take the plunge and invest into Certic. But this is a way smarter approach given the market and where we're at financially and trying to be box clever with investments. So yeah, we're doing a couple and we'll have plenty of change, I should say, versus if we did, you know, the sector. It's not even comparable.
Well, the Stay Safe scanners used a hell of a lot in DeFi anyway, like a hell of a lot.
That was the other part of it. I looked at their network of platforms, and we've got a listing on their platform now, which is just /HODL, which is really cool. It feeds into, as you say, other platforms. So we get, and they've also got their own other platforms and they've set up our listings and then optimized those listings and not added all the content. So it's for me, it's been like literally one of the biggest no-brainers that we delivered on in a while, because it was incredibly good value. And the report, you know, we got a 25-page report back from the guys, and I've been working with them really close. Like it's off the chart value for money.
It's all worked out really well for me, I think. I mean, everything you put in place now and everything that's happening, all the marketing that's getting done behind the scenes. Keep saying it'll be like Red Bull. You'll not be able to turn the internet on without saying HODL. Now, as soon as BNB starts pumping, Bitcoin starts pumping, and the market starts picking up again, we've got a product that is second to none in DeFi, second to none. And once it gets out, it ain't going to stop.
Yeah. Now, and you know, we very, very consciously tried to deliver on that in terms of, you know, make sure that every listing that's out there representing us has been updated, killing off scam accounts. You know, we've applied for the check mark on Telegram. Like every little detail has been considered so that when the market does improve and when we go on a run, we'll be 5-10 times stronger than we were the last time we did it. So it could get pretty crazy. You know, because I've done my research with the team, and you know, if I look at our CMC listing, you know, we've just given them our API endpoints for the circulating supply and the total supply. But we've got more tags than any other project I can find on there. We've got a better write-up and description than any other project I can find, full of links. We've got like our team is listed. Like, you know, I basically looked at that many profiles on CMC, and then we've seen like, oh, I haven't seen that feature before active on many CMC profiles, so we've turned it on. So I think it's something like 30 tickets that we raised to CMC to get our page to the condition it's in now. And then we did the same with CoinGecko. You know, our link tree is the best I've ever seen for a crypto project. You know, all our social media pages are looking strong and cross-linking. You know, everything is pretty much perfect in terms of representation.
It's ready to go. The one that does go, it's going to go because everything is in place. The product, everything works perfectly. It's all been tested, obviously, with this audit coming through. We are perfectly placed and ready to go.
Yeah.
So and what's beautiful about the contract is if anybody comes out with an innovation, boom, we can add it straight to our ecosystem as well, which they can't. I'm looking at some projects which are spending loads of money at the minute. Really busy telegrams.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we're conscious as well, though, from the community perspective. It'd be interesting if any of you guys on the call have any thoughts on this or any questions on this. But I think with the proxy contract, because it is upgradable, sometimes people have a concern about that. Truthfully, I think I have a slightly different view on it, in that if there's issues with your contract or vulnerabilities get exposed and it's immutable, then it's game over. So at least you can kind of develop your contract and protect yourself from those sorts of issues. But truthfully as well, I mean, you know, if a project's determined to rug its investors, even it being immutable means nothing, you know, because they've still got access to the liquidity. I mean, yes, there's other things that you can do, but if a project owner is hell bent on doing something malicious, that 99 times out of 100, they'll be able to. So I think for me, the proxy contract allows us to innovate and move forward. And that was one of the issues with the first version of our contract, is as soon as it was out there was clones and copycats, but then they were adding additional features that then we couldn't add. So it just made no sense to me as somebody who's kind of spent 15 years in tech that you can't develop. But there are ways around it. And, you know, we've obviously things like KYC, doxing the team, putting your liquidity into Unicrypt, which we've done now. The contract audits, you know, having multiple contract audits. We're doing penetration testing. So basically, Crypto Chris is trying to attack our system in a safe way from lots of different angles and find vulnerabilities. There's all these things you can do. I had a phone call today with 2 companies, one about bookkeeping. So basically we'll have financial reporting on marketing spend, our investment spend, our our project funds. That's another thing for transparency. And then the other thing that I had a call on today was with a company that offer insurances. So you can get insurance for if you're hacked, or insurance if your money's stolen, or insurance if a variety of situations. And they do things like you can have your private keys for your project wallets securely encrypted and stored in case there's an event or a problem, or you lose them. So, and then they have another tool where you can basically add a control layer on top of your transactions that the project makes, where it will check for malicious transactions using AI. So there's all these things that you can do that provide transparency and security, which for me more than mitigate people's concerns that the contract is upgradable. And then I think you've got the best of both worlds. If you operate it like that, like you can run it like a tech company that can be trusted. And for me, that's like the most exciting bit, because our contract, like I know when we migrated from V1 to 2.0, it was so inefficient. The gas fees were just killer, and it just was going to die out. So I think it works, but we tried to mitigate the risks and some of the concerns around being an upgradable contract being one thing. And the other thing that you'll see in reports on, particularly on these cookie cutter kind of scan your contracts kind of websites, is contracts being renounced. And I think most people that are kind of clued up on crypto, and most people that run projects, saying renouncing a contract is not a smart thing to do. And I would actually agree with that. But the reason people like renounced contracts is, again, because of all the horror stories. But if you get the other stuff right that I've mentioned, and all the other security features and measures, and operate with transparency, then you should be able to get the best of both worlds. So I think it's a lot of work, but we're kind of getting there with having that correct balance between all the different things of security, to make sure that we can both move forward, but that your money is well and truly protected. Does anybody else want to ask a question, or Ken or anyone from the team? Do you have anything you want to chime in on?
Yeah, real quick. Also, with talking all that stuff and contracts and CERTIC audits and all that. We've all seen projects rug that had CERTIC audits and that were, immutable contracts and renounced and all that stuff. It doesn't stop that. Also, just so everybody knows, and we're into our first month of our second year. And I know we talked internally. We didn't make a big hoop-de-doo about our 1-year anniversary, because it kind of came and went. But to last a year in DeFi and not only survive it, but to keep building on it and improve it and enhance it. That's why we're very confident that once the market picks back up, we're like Shipper said, we're poised and we're ready to go. CERTIC audits are good and all that, but it's not an end all be all. And neither is renouncing the contract. You guys all pretty much all know, but we're set in a very solid, we've got the most solid foundation of any other project I know. And I spend hours a day, every day, researching projects and seeing which projects are surviving, see which ones are thriving, see which ones are growing, see which ones have failed, and try to figure out why. And
we're number 2 on CoinVote today.
We have an amazing.
No, I'm just saying on CoinVote, we're number 2 for meme coins today. Lee's just tweeted it.
Nice. Yeah, so that's really probably, if you think you have your brand, you have your team, you have your product, you have your community, that's really the sort of essence of that's your overall product, really, those things combined. But then you've got to make people aware and reach people with that. So I think, that the base is very strong, and we're now really trying to ramp up that marketing, which, hopefully, for example, what Shipper's just mentioned is a good example of that. But we'll also be doing more AMAs. Video is going to be a big focus for us soon. We're conscious of that. Getting some really good quality videos. I think the project needs a video that kind of explains the ecosystem in under 60 seconds. What you can do to make money with HODL. It feels like, if I'm honest, because I came into the CEO position, I think it was 2 months ago. I really, 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 really was not expecting us to kind of be in this position after 2 months. So much has come together. The team have all worked very hard. Maybe we've had some luck on our side, with some of the stuff which, when we thought about, it'd be good if we can do X, Y, and Z, have been a lot quicker to execute and to a higher standard than we anticipated. The move of the HODL hands from Ethereum to BSC, for example, was a lot of work, but relatively straightforward and really inexpensive. So it's been a crazy 2 months. and we've certainly kept busy, and it's almost insulated us from the wider market. Because I can promise you that we're literally so busy that we're not thinking about this bear market, in terms of, we are obviously, being strategic and smart, but we're not sat there feeling down or miserable or demotivated or slowed down by the market, because we're literally just busy building and developing something amazing. So yeah, it's been really good. And I think we will continue to improve our product and our brand and our offering and our platforms. But we're very, very aware, we're acutely aware that now is the time to reach new investors and scale, because most importantly, we're in a position now where, particularly when the market improves and money starts flooding back in, when people engage our ecosystem, they've got so many options that our investment into marketing should be really lucrative. Whereas historically, if the project's gone a bit stagnant, there was a phase, for example, when the V1 dev, we sort of transitioned, and things kind of slowed down, or part of the reason we did transition from the old dev is that things had slowed down and it'd become a little disengaged. So there's times when things are a bit slow, but things are really motoring now. And I think I kind of have a sense that as a team and as a project, we're nearing kind of critical mass with our ecosystem and development, and things are coming together nicely. So we just got to get it out there. So everything that anyone can do to kind of contribute to that is appreciated. So if you could be sharing on social media, making sure that you're following all of our channels on social media and commenting, liking, sharing, being active in the community, reinvesting where you can, letting people around you know. I know, for example, when I first got into this project, I pulled a lot of people in with me who put quite big money in. So please don't think that you can't make an impact. And if we all have that kind of mentality, coupled with the ecosystem and the marketing that we're bringing to fruition and starting to scale, I think I couldn't be more confident in our potential to unlock something big with this project, given all the ingredients. So we just got to keep going, and enjoy it. One of the things that means a lot to me is that we try to enjoy this journey as a community and as a team, because I've built businesses before and it's been a slog and not necessarily that enjoyable to then exit them for, and sell them for a penny. But if we can achieve both, be successful, but actually enjoy the journey, then that's the perfect scenario. So chip in where you can and keep it positive. And yeah, I think we're all feeling, as some of our polls have indicated, I think we're all feeling pretty bullish at the moment.
Last one more thing. Are we going to buy some land somewhere in the metaverse and build like HODL area?
We looked at it. Yeah, I think the one thing I would say is buying land in the metaverse is like buying land in the real world. You need to look at your neighbours in the what buildings near you. What your plot's like, where it's positioned. Is actually, if you do it right, there's a fair bit to consider, and it is quite expensive. It's something that we're definitely interested in, but to be quite transparent, we already do have decent presence in the metaverse, so it's probably, if we did make that investment, it would mainly be because it would be our land versus effectively land that, in brackets, we're renting. And whilst I do think that would be really good, it does detract money from marketing. So I've got mixed feelings on this answer about whether it's the use of funds, particularly seeing as that we've already got buildings up and running in the metaverse. But we have looked at it. So it is of interest. I'm slightly on the fence whether it's the better use of funds right now when it's kind of like we need to be ramping up the marketing, but we'll see.
Okay, cheers.
Anyone else have a question? Please, just fire away. Nothing's off the table. If you've got any concerns or anything you want to ask.
No, just another something, and you guys just remember, it's like, I use metaphors. It's a dry sea. You just keep taking care of things in a dry sea. The market is the market. It's a whole global situation right now, but like Adam was saying a little bit ago, and in Ship, we just keep making what we have better, and that to me has given me extreme confidence. I mean, I've always had confidence, obviously, but I'm extremely bullish. Adam, you just sent out that little poll again a couple days ago. I actually, without feeling like I was had to answer a certain way because I'm part of the team, I actually didn't hesitate to tap the extremely bullish because of what we've built thus far. I don't know, honestly, and this is truth, and I research and study hours and hours a day, like I said. I don't know of any other project out there. Like, you think about, let me back up. You think about a year or two ago-ish, right? Safe Moon. Safe Moon was going to be the biggest thing on the planet, right? And I don't know what they've done. I don't own it anymore. I go in there every now and again to look, but even something like a project like Safe Moon that had all that reputation and all those people joining and all the money, we're a better project than them. We have more to offer than them. We're more solid than them. And I'm sure there's other projects out there that are really cool, but we're better. And yes, I know the price. Everybody's like, well, the price. Yes, we know. But so there's quantity and quality. We have the quality. We're such an amazingly high quality project in DeFi and in the whole crypto space that when the market does turn around, our foundation is so solid. Like this, I'm amazed how far we've come in the last year, right? From inception. I'm amazed how far we've come, like Adam was saying, in the last couple months. It all just seems to be coming together. If all this was coming together the way it has been and the market was booming, it would last year would just be a drop in the bucket compared to where we be. And with that being said, I know when the market turns around, this project is going to go gangbuster. It is going to be so highly successful, and it's going to have so much money coming in and out of it, right? It's going to be such a monster in a positive way, such a monster in the crypto and the DeFi space that you're going to be glad that you're part of it, right?
It's
And
got
so in the
fundamentals.
meantime,
As you were saying
it
there,
is
it's
the
got fundamentals.
fundamentals. It really is. It still blows me away how much HODL has to offer to
But you don't
to
get
any kind of
fundamentals in
investor.
DeFi. You don't get fundamentals in DeFi. That's what I'm trying to say. But this has, because it's run like a tech company. It's not run like
Exactly.
a DeFi project. It's run
Yes.
like a proper company.
And we're
That's
actually
the difference.
yes,
So it's got
we're
proper
in
fundamentals to go somewhere.
right. And we're in well yes, we're a crypto company, right? We're in DeFi, but we are we are utilizable in outs for people outside of crypto and DeFi, right? Like we're an investment company, basically when it comes down to it, unofficially, because of rules and regulations and such. But we really are. We help people manage their money. That's what we do, right? And unofficially, unofficially, because there's rules and regulations and all that stuff about it. But the fundamentals in HODL are absolutely mind blowing. If you can wrap your head around everything, and I still think we're one of the best on the market, and I think we always will be because we have blown past a lot of the other like the Safe Moons and the whatever E-News and the Papa Schmackas and some of those other things. We don't just have two or three things. I mean, look at what we offer. That's what blows me away. The fundamentals and we're like an encyclopedia library. We're not just one book. We're the whole series on the wall, in a file cabinet, so to speak. Again, with a metaphor, but it is just mind blowing. And when we start getting a traction, right? And like we're the Red Bull of crypto, right? And being HODL, when we start getting traction in the financial market, not just crypto, not just DeFi, but in the financial market, we're going to grow exponentially. And I 100% believe in it. This is what I always tell that to Adam and JT when what we have to offer is just amazing. It's just amazing. Look at all the different ways to earn. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is a case now. And this is, I want everybody to understand though that this is a collaborative thing. We need everybody on this call, everybody in the chats, everybody on our social, really to get behind it now more than ever. I know it's a bear market. I know the price is lower than we all want and quite frankly deserve. But if we all put in a shift, we will catch that spark. And we're definitely, as you can see with for example, how we're now trending on various platforms, our marketing is really taking effect. And I know from even just a meeting that we had this morning, there's some really big things in the pipeline, which other projects probably aren't doing at the moment because everyone's just in survival mode. So we might be able to actually reach more people or make more noise at the moment because there is less noise out there, less capability to be chucking money at various things for a lot of projects. So whilst we're acutely aware that we have this incredible ecosystem, we're also even more aware that now is the time to reach people and tell them about it. And yeah, as I say, sorry to sound like a broken record, but even if the 13 people on this call did a little bit more with social media or, tried to chime in on the group a bit more or do something on Twitter, or tell somebody that who's interested in crypto about our project. That coupled with all the efforts that we're making and getting the community behind us more and more and more to get the message out there, we will snowball. So we just now, it's like I just see it a bit like a spark. We just need to keep scratching away at the marketing until we get a spark, and then it will be like the big bang, because what we saw with V1 is that the project started to blow up, but we have the kind of project where when it blows up and the price shoots up and the bot's liquefying the tokens that it's earning and the volume goes up and then more's going into the reward pool, that becomes like this black hole of kind of sucking power. Like people will see that, they'll see the pool growing, they'll see the price going up and more money going into the pool, and that will in turn create momentum which pulls more people in. So we just need to just trigger that marketing spark, and we'll go on an absolutely ungodly run, in my opinion, because we've made sure that, for example, on CMC, when we trend, we're not going to be on one or two lists like we were previously. We're going to be on about 20. The same with CoinGecko, same with all these other platforms that we're on. we've now got way better social media presence and also way better social media. So a way better website, a way better product. So as soon as we get that spark, the other thing is as well is that our contract accrues 50% more reward revenue than it did previously. So when we start scaling, far more will go into the reward pool than previously did. You'll see a 50% more than last time as it starts to scale. So it's going to be something. And then the other aspect of it all is that we have the Fibonacci caps. So we won't be distributing 100% of what's in the pool every day. We will be both making big distributions, but then storing significant quantities of B&B, which then means that there's that sustainability. It's not, you're singing for your supper every day. Your volume determines your reward pool. That gets distributed and then you go again tomorrow. We're actually going to be giving out good rewards, but building a stockpile for the future. So yeah, we're ready, but let's not underestimate the importance of getting us out there. We just got to trigger that spark, and we will all do very well out of this. So please keep going, please keep supporting, please keep tweeting, going on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, and it will really help make that happen.
Yeah, and please keep the faith, because we are nonstop. And like Adam, you said it the best. That spark, right? We have the Tinder, we have the kindling, we have it. All we need is that spark, and we're gonna see it. I firmly 100% believe we're going to see it, and once it ignites, we're going to spread like wildfire. Because not only would we be, like last year, a big B&B reward token, we've way outgrown that. We've these things, once we're like a hidden gem. We're hidden, right, from most of the financial world. Right now we're hidden, but little by little we keep striking at it, and it's going to ignite, and they're going to find us, right? Whoever they are, the investors, the world, whatever pieces of, they're going to find us, and we just keep doing what we do and stay solid and work, and they're going to find us. It's once we start going again, we're going to be absolutely amazing. It's just, because think about it, we could get people outside of the crypto sphere, investors that don't know really about BNB, and of course everybody knows about Bitcoin, so to speak, but we just keep pushing forward, and once the sparks catch, it's going to be a blaze. You guys just keep the faith and know that this thing that, that we're all involved in together is absolutely incredible. Anyway, all right, I'll give it back to you.
Does anybody have anything else they want to ask about anything to do with the project ecosystem? Has anyone got any concerns or anything that you kind of worry about with, like, it's really important that we get that kind of feedback. So is there anything anyone wants to share?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, mate. Hello.
Hello. I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity to top up the NFT farm, because as a small investor, when I calculate my earnings, it's not allow me to earn one NFT. It will be only half. So you guys create an amazing idea, then give opportunity for the small investors to top up with a little bit of money and complete the full NFT. This is amazing, man. You guys take care of small investors as well. You don't think about only the big whales. And for you guys, everyone is the same here. Anyone is more than anyone. So thank you very much for that.
Absolute pleasure. And Ken, Yield Farmer Ken, deserves a lot of credit for that, because we did have the conversation. We said, well, it can't pay out half an NFT, so what are we going to do? And we thought about a lot of ideas. And we initially had a conversation with the developer and said, if I'm honest, I didn't think it would be possible, but he found a solution and he's implemented it. And I think it's brilliant, because the other thing about it all is that the money, so if you top up half an NFT, that money is for the project. So how we built that bot, that let's say it's 0.15 BNB, let's say, in the example you gave. You can see how that money is going to get used to benefit the project, because we've got that bot now. So you can see how the NFT revenue folder is growing and what that money's for. But it's not for us or for anybody, it's for the project. So not only does it give the smaller investors the opportunity, it feeds the project to grow. So really happy that we managed to create that solution and help the small investors. But I think also for the project, it's going to be a huge success.
100%.
It's Gucci, mate. It's definitely a Gucci. Right then, any more questions for anybody? Okay, guys, we'll probably end it there. The AMA has been recorded, so we'll share that for people that aren't able to attend. Thank you all for joining. We'll get that out there so people can listen to it in their own time. But yeah, go and take advantage of the pool. Appreciate you all. There's a lot of people on here that I've got to know and talk to and share ideas with. So yeah, just really appreciate it. And just, please remember that the small things that we can all do stack up. So keep supporting us, and we'll keep working hard to try and make everybody involved very wealthy. So thanks again. Enjoy the pool, and we'll speak again soon.